Just a moment. Are we here? Are we here? We're going to be here because I'm here. Yay. All right. Blessings, everyone. This is an impromptu tarot forecast live for us from May 1st through May 14th of 2019. Thank you, everyone, for all of your support, all of the new subscribers here at YouTube. I'm so very grateful. As always, I pray and I affirm that everything I share here truly serves your path of spiritual growth and sovereignty. All right, so I have a few announcements. First of all, I want to thank the new subscribers here at YouTube. I would like to thank all of the new followers at Instagram. As you know, if you follow me, I am making a metaphysical movie called Grid Mind Science. There is a new page for that up at Instagram. There's going to be a website, the Facebook, and all that Twitter stuff coming soon. But in the meantime, I'm just so excited. I do have a video series on my playlist for Grid Mind Science where I am documenting as a Grid Mind Science log my personal experience of going through being a first-time filmmaker. I have never made a film besides using iMovie on my iPad. No, on my, what do I have, an iBook? I've never made a movie before. So this is a very exciting time for me. And all the spiritual growth that ensues, all of the challenges and all of the courage that we muster in meeting the truth in our hearts, all of that is documented. So thank you for all of your support in every single way. If you appreciate them, TuesdayMayThomas.com. The link is down in the show more box. And on the very first page, you will be able to subscribe for my monthly love letter, where I send out a monthly blog and all sorts of goodies that are just for subscribers to my website. I will be sending out this May's love letter in the next couple days. So please do sign up if that is something that interests you. We're going to get right into it, though. We use the Osho Zen Tarot, and we usually start with a Voyager Tarot from James Wanless. This is the book that goes with the Voyager Tarot. So we're going to take a moment. We're going to take a breath and call in our angels and our guides. And welcome in all of those light beings who love us, all those divine ascended masters, angels, guides, spirit totems, perhaps loved ones from a past life, yes, or from this life that have passed on, that are guided to be with us, to hold space for the Most High. We welcome you. We welcome you. And we thank you in advance for all the ways that you serve our path of awakening, of being, of embodying our truth. We thank you, our angels, and we thank you, this Voyager deck. We thank you for this beautiful day, this beautiful, 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 beautiful day. We are so very grateful. I'm getting to cut it in the half and then to look to this card. What is this card? Woo! It's the sun. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. So very powerful. And just for a little peek on the underneath. I love that. The Hierophant. Very powerful juice. But we're going to stick with the sun for now. So again, I'm going to read from James Wanless's book. We're going to have a look at this. The sun. May 1st through May 14th of 2019. What is our tarot forecast for this time? The sun. It's in this book somewhere, I promise. Here we go. I'm going to hold the card up for you while I read. The sun symbolizes the law of life. Be alive, animate, and active. Like the youthful king Tutankhamun represents the morning sun, you are awake. Your mind is alert, your body light, and your heart sunny. Your spirit soars, and your golden fortunes grow. Be a full participant in the dance of life. I feel that that is the main message of this card. Be a full participant in the dance of life. Like the radiant sun, you have great power and influence. Awaken others by emanating your own vitality. Through your creative energy, you rejuvenate and energize. You are the life force. Like the sociable and active sun, join with others in work and By combining your energy with that of others, you create a new sun, a synergetic fireball that produces new life. That is so powerful. That fully speaks to us sharing our process of creation. It speaks to us sharing our process of manifesting our truth in this life. I really feel that. And how that, even just this morning, right? Will was talking about this premise that we're aware of, yet we keep understanding it on deeper and deeper levels of to give is to receive, is that divine circulation of energy, that divine giving, that divine receiving of this, of everything, of really of everything, and how that creates a circuit board, the circuitry within us, in order to be even more grounded in the present moment, to have even a greater sense of awareness of the ever-present eternal expansiveness of the now, of who you are as your I amness in the now, giving and receiving, the sun circulating energy. The sun gives unconditionally. The sun just is. And it is a part of its nature to give, to emanate, to shine, to light, not only itself, but others. And so in this way, we get to think about that aspect of not only, doing for ourselves and giving to ourselves, which is important. It's important to give to ourselves, to make sacred space for ourselves and such, yet to extend that sacredness, that light, that support, that seeing of others, that holding space for others is a part of that divine circulation, of the synergy that occurs. And that is a recipe for the divine matrix. That is the recipe for the Most High to come about and meet us, right? And especially when we give, what is that saying? There's a saying where it's like you give, you know the one, it speaks to giving and then forgetting, right? Sometimes we might hear ourselves or others speak in such a way that speaks to that aspect of, well, I did this for them, so they better do this for me. Or when they don't do that for you, and then the person says, do you know that I got them that job? I had to call so-and-so, and I got them that job 2 years ago, and they can't even go and get me coffee now. This interesting juxtaposition. We're moving away from those polarities, and we're moving into a realm of giving unconditionally to ourselves, to others, just for, not even for a practice, but just because it's your nature, because it is your nature to give. And when you, again, rest in your true nature, the universe wants to keep giving back to you and meet you as that truth, as nature, as love. And so you can't help but be an appropriate channel to receive in greater and greater ways. So I love that we opened with the sun. That is illuminating. It is radiating. It is vibrant. It is about vitality. It is about awakening, as it was saying, our energy and being in our bodies, being more active, not only in co-creating the life we want to live and co-creating those circumstances in which we wish to be a participant in while we're in a body on this planet, but even beyond that. And so let's see how our Osho Zen sink in with that divine overview of the sun. So one more time, we just take a moment and we take a breath. And we might even smile. We might even laugh. And we say thank you to our angels and to this Osho Zen tarot deck. Oh, and that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say thank you for everyone who hops on for my weekly live stream, 4D Trinity. Yes, every week at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I have a live stream here at the channel in which we discuss everything metaphysical, everything that has to do with your multidimensional beingness, your healing of your life, you understanding your spiritual growth and elements of self-mastery. We often do little guided meditations there as well. And so I welcome you. There's a playlist, a 4D Trinity playlist, and also just hop on a Thursday morning. This week, our topic is language of light. Last week, it was AI. And I think the week before that, we were working with the ancestor energies. And once a month on 4D Trinity, I do an Ask Me Anything show where I use these Osho Zen in alignment with channeling your higher self for the highest good where you can literally ask me anything. I don't have the comments up right now for this live reading, but for all the other 4DTs and anytime I ever else go live for 4D Trinity, for those shows, I have the comments up. And for the Ask Me Anything, you can ask me anything and I will answer your question. And it's first come, first serve. The show usually is about an hour, hour and a half. And that will be not this week. It'll be in 3 weeks. So if you're a new subscriber, just have a look and you'll see when I post it up and it will say Q&A, ask me anything. All right, my friends. So let's get back into shuffling. I did want to mention that. So thank you for reminding me, higher self. So clearing and cleansing and thinking about the sun, this vital energy, this powerful, regenerative, purifying, really focused energy. You know, when you think about light, you think about the sun. I mean, it can burn, right? It can burn. It can set things on fire. Yet it can also cook. It can also warm a house. You know, we can make clay with the warmth of heating water and certain dirt elements, and we can build a house. We can lay in the sun, and our bodies that contain the vitamin D can become activated and healed. Such a powerful, 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 life-giving source. And so that sun is the main denominator of our reading. And with that in mind, we ask these cards and our angels and guides to open the way for the most perfect messages to channel through. I sign myself into the keynote of everyone guided to watch, that we may receive the Most High messages from May 1st to May 14th of 2019. Now these chunk fell out and we're going to go with it. We're going to go with them. The first one is projections. The Creator. Trust. Wow, there's some interesting cards coming up here. Politics. Slowing down. Which is funny, right? Because it feels like we've just come out of the retrograde and shouldn't we be speeding up? Compromise. Playfulness. Okay, I see where this is going. We are working here. This is morality. Consciousness. Fighting. Clinging to the past. And the dream. So you know what? I feel that the dream actually goes at the top of this reading. I feel the dream goes at the top of the reading. So I'm going to move things around a little bit here and take a moment to feel how this flow is guided to go. You know, because we have fighting, morality, and politics, and we have projections in the dream. Okay, so what I'm feeling for this is that we all have this, we have this on a certain level in common together, where we are entering a new version, a new phase of life, which holds the blueprint of a newer version of yourself and myself. We are entering a level of awareness that cannot be stopped. Once a certain doorway has passed through, really cannot be stopped. Yet the illusion is the illusion of illusory forces that might come to stop the intensity of the direction that you are going in life may appear, yet they are illusion. So we're going to get clear on this as we keep going. What I'm really getting really strong is that you are allowing yourself to fall like this trust. You're allowing yourself the mystic gift of trust. You're allowing yourself to relax into the hands of the divine. We are learning to allow ourselves to be carried by love. We are learning to trust ourselves, to trust our paths, our hearts, to just trust. To just trust, which is such a powerful medicine that, you know what we teach here, that bridges that heaven on earth realization, that multidimensionality of our being that is not just bound by it has to make sense in the 3D world in order for it to work. Or if it doesn't make sense in the 3D world, then it doesn't work for me. We're learning to loosen our moorings about how things need to happen, and we're creating more space for the miraculous, for the divine to step in. We're actually doing really good. That's been our work, right? Over this last period of self-mastery, of coming into these new levels of mastery, we're learning to let go of control. We're learning this. We're learning the mystic gift of trust. We're learning to open our arms, to jump out of the plane, to jump off the edge of the cliff, and metaphorically meaning we're learning to trust our hearts. We're learning to trust our truth individually and collectively. And that's calibrating a new dimension of experience for us. That's calibrating a new way for us to get to know who we are. Yet, what I'm seeing here, and this doesn't have to be for all of us, yet there are these interesting forces that some people call tests. Some people, I like to think of them as opportunities, or just as verification points that are saying you're actually going in the right direction. You know how sometimes you get inspired to follow your heart, you follow your courage, you're in it, you're doing it, and then someone or something comes in and they just poke. They poke at you, and they, from whatever angle, attempt to attempt to bring you out of your joy. Attempt to bring you back to gravity, to the gravitation of the grids, versus the levity and the levitational aspects that are beyond the grids, that are beyond the world that you're experiencing. It's like there are forces, and sometimes these forces channel through individuals, and sometimes these forces are within us in our own unconscious or subconscious beliefs and patterns. And so what I'm seeing here is that you are the dream. Now, I know this is often like a romantic thing, and it can be here, yet what I'm getting is that this is about you living your dream. This isn't just about hoping that some guy is going to text you back or some girl's going to give you the eye. This is about you're done looking over your shoulder and thinking about what it could be like if it happened. You've actually gotten off that rock and you jumped off the side of the cliff, metaphorically, meaning you have decided to have the courage and to take that leap of faith, right? And we remember that faith doesn't always make sense in the 3D. Faith is that action, is that energy that it goes beyond reason. We can do our best to rationalize and to reason our way around these aspects that are really miraculous. And sure, we can put words to them and create beautiful stories and transmit this information. Yet when you're in it, of your own accord, willingly letting go, that you will be like a leaf floating in the wind, and that the wind will divinely carry you to where it is that is your next shore. That is so absolutely powerful. And for whatever reason, the tar body doesn't want us to get ahead. The shadow aspects, the tars within you, the residual, even if you've been really good in healing your life and doing, and like self-love and practicing your meditations and stuff. And I put all this in a bubble of light because it does not have to be your reality. It is a story. It is a story that I myself am also running into currently with these parts of these stories, with all of these healings and these unfurlings. And it's like the deeper we go into the light body, the deeper we go into that calibration of like, I don't give a fuck. I'm living for me, for my truth. I don't care what the world says. I don't care who judges me. I'm in it. And it's like, yes, yes. And that is a part of that trust of jumping off the cliff and of getting your wings, right? You don't have wings until you jump off the cliff. Again, that's energetically, my friends, metaphorically. It's only when we have the courage to take the step or to attempt flight, when there doesn't seem to logically be a way, but we have the faith. That's what metaphysically creates the correct conditions, whether you sprout wings, an airplane comes and picks you up and flies you somewhere, or you just are literally levitating and floating to your next destination in life. This is the magical, mystical presence that awaits us in a 4D consciousness, in a level that is beyond the 3D, beyond the domain of what makes sense. We're stepping into the what doesn't make sense realm as we bridge heaven on earth. And parts of us in our memory of the cells in our bodies and in our and of our past lives can't handle that truth. I'm going to just say it like that. It can't handle it. And it causes it to short circuit. And so it's not like, you know, the bad people or the bad energy is out to get you. It's not like that. It's just that that energy that still resides within you that doesn't have the wiring or the calibration that is rooted in love and only love. It's just that parts of us that are not, that have not ascended to that frequency yet, that those raise up in fear. And when we start jumping in leaps and bounds and become happy, and I'm saying this, and I usually don't talk like this, but I had someone directly question my laughter. Someone very close to me who was basically, you know, telling me that that my laugh is fake and that I got it from someone else. Now, it's an interesting thing, right? And all I could do was sit there and not judge and just extend love, extend love. And then later considering this and meditating on it now, and then thinking about this deck and just how, even though that's not a story of mine, it's not something that I constantly bump into where like every time I rise up and get stronger in my clarity or in my light body activation that like some dark force comes and tries to knock me down. Like that's not my story. Yet I realize that it is a story that the collective, that we have an agreement to a certain degree on together. And while it's not my main story that continues to happen, yes, once in a blue moon, I'm like, oh shit, there's that story. And it's in my life right now. Here that is. So that kind of reminded me about that person who was sitting there and saying those things to me. And I was just like, wow, okay, you're like the cock blocker. You're being like, it's actually what it does is it's reflecting them and how I'm just going to say, this is just reflecting them. It's the morality. There's no heart. It's all mind. It's all judgment. It wants to fight. It wants to instigate. Okay, so those tars and those shadow, those deeper layers that again are not, they just have not become enlightened yet within us. And that's why they have to judge or make fun or try to hold someone else back from being happy, from being successful, from living their dreams. Right? And again, that could be your own tar body. That could be your own shadow with self-destructive habits and patterns and addictions that as you start to get your mojo up and running, like I know people who are dealing with alcoholism, you know, and just when they start to get the relationship or things off the ground and they've been sober for so long, a little thing happens and that tar buddy comes and grabs them, and next thing you know, they're back in detox. They're back in the rehab and they got to start all over again. And so it's these aspects that we do to ourselves. But because of those immature aspects in perhaps people or situations that surround us, that can be reflected where they just don't get it. There's a part of them, but we all do, because I do believe that we're all enlightened. Ultimately, we're already enlightened. And again, it's just those parts of us that have not become enlightened yet that need to poke, that need to prod, that need to have a judgment about someone else who's in bliss or in peace or just in authentic mode. And so there's these interesting projections that happen where, again, it's either yourself or people in your midst will attempt to cock block your joy, is all I'm going to say. And pardon my French in this. I'm saying a few F words and stuff here, but it's to make a point that we get to be, I'm going to do it. We get to learn how to be unfuckable with, because that is your true nature. Your soul is unfuckable with, period. And when we start to align and calibrate the light body and reconnect holographically with that truth, right? It's almost again as if, some people call it tests, I like to call it opportunities or markers along the road that you're actually doing fucking great. Yes, I'm saying the F word a lot here. Pardon me, but that's just what's happening. Right? That forces will come in and be like, all trying to trip you up. And you get to be like, oh, am I going to react? Am I going to, you know, like there's on Instagram, right? There's like, you know, don't let someone's bad vibes take you out from, you know, the ascension or the healing that you've had, the enlightenment, the peace and the joy and the freedom that you've come to know in certain areas of your life. When someone comes in and tries to, even if it's a little jab, if you have not sealed the deal and really decided that love is the truth and that you're unfuckable with, when someone comes in with a little pick poke, if you're gonna like, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that like that. But you know, we do. We're like, wait, I'm still sensitive. I haven't healed and sealed the deal completely yet. And I'm acting like I'm all strong and unfuckable with, but I'm still fuckable with, you know. And so someone can come in and like poke you, and then all of your sense of empowerment, you know, deflates. And you may be tempted to react from your shadow place to their shadow place. And that's all the Tara body wants. That is how it feeds itself. It's a parasite energy. That is how it keeps itself nourished and fortified, is by thriving off of fear, of pain, of what is termed as negative energy. So there's like this interesting thing right out of the gate that I kind of want to get past here, but this is obviously an important message. So just know that when that energy comes at you, or when you notice that energy in yourself and you're like, oh, I see you, shadow. I see you, tar body. It's your own self, but you're like, oh, no, I see you, and I call you out. And I'm not going to fall for that old pattern. Like, that's something I get to go through right now. I'm going through a cycle right now where I'm achieving and I'm creating and manifesting on a way that I have not before. And I just completed something really amazing yesterday, and I went to stand up and something happened and I was like, oh, no, you didn't. I was like, really? And it's an old pattern where I was that would come up. Whenever I rise and I meet myself on a new level, this old thing would happen, and that thing happened yesterday. I'm not even going to say it here. I said it somewhere else, so I don't need to say it again. And I'm like, are you serious? I didn't even know that I believed in that anymore, that this is like a thing that has to happen. I thought we were done. We've healed that. These are the remnants. These are the the subconscious fractals of those aspects that are only raising themselves up into your awareness, so the light of the truth of your unfuckability can burn them out. That energy, that lower, denser energy, can be transmuted back into love. So that blaze of the sun, the rays of the sun, can activate it and can burn off the dross of what is the untruth. What is the untruth there? Because it's either us that's playing the politician or someone else. But again, I don't feel like this is this heavy thing that you're going to have to deal with this back to back to back to back. It just speaks to that aspect of, as you rise, and again, this is just a story, and I don't go teach this and affirm that this has to happen this way, yet this is what's up on the card, so we're going to roll with it. That as you rise, you will be tested. And it's not only like, you know, and it's not like who wins kind of a thing. Or what am I trying to say? What I'm saying is that it speaks to, if we're going to call it a test or an opportunity, it speaks to how willing are you to display your exercise of self-mastery in this situation. Like when that person poked at me, it was only for like a couple minutes. Like we sat and we talked for a full half hour, and this was maybe like a 1 minute segment of that whole thing. And I was given an opportunity to either poke back, right, and to say something passive aggressive, as they were saying to me, to them in return. Number one. Number two, I could have taken it personally and continued the conversation, and then after they left, cried, or like had like an emotional, you know, like a nail in your tire that lets a slow leak out. I could have gotten a little slight in my aura if I held it against them, you see. If I thought they were really evil and trying to do something to me and thought that was something that I needed to judge, that would create a leak, a hole in my aura, and that would create a space for more of that type of energy to get in. But we don't have to do that. We know that. So that could happen though. Or I could have just responded and been unkind. you know, and said something sassy to them. And that would have been my tar body responding to their tar body. And the tar body's like, now I've got you both involved, you know, and it just loves that stuff. But I didn't do any of that. I just saw what it was. I was like, oh, wow, look at this. And because this sort of thing has happened with this person in the past, which is not in the now, so I don't carry that anymore. But I was like, oh, I remember this thing with this person. Yeah, they do that sometimes. I forgot about that. Okay, I'm seeing it, and I'm just going to be love, and I'm going to just extend love. And so I had nothing. And so that's what I'm saying, is that sometimes when these things happen, it's not because you know, bad forces are out to get you or to test you in a mean way. But if you're going to think test or think opportunity, it's so that you can be a witness to your own ability to master your time and space and to be sovereign. That is what sovereignty is. It is you not reacting into every single little pick and poke that the world might try to tease you or test you or bully you or whatever we think all those things are that could make us fall into victimhood. We heal to the degree that those triggers are not there anymore. But we recognize the characters, we recognize the politics, we recognize the bullying, we recognize the situation because we've lived it, we've been there, and we're like, and love. And so I'm just going to love this person. I'm not going to judge it. I'm just going to be present and be a witness and just love. So we're going to move on because that's what looks like it's here though. But you know what? Again, it's only here because you are there. Because you are amassing a new level of self, because you've trusted, you see. And it's almost like an initiation, you know, when you have the courage to jump off the cliff and basically switch timelines from 3D to 4D, that it's like you're like, you've jumped from one timeline to another, and you're like, oh, look, there's that person. Oh, look, there's that thing. And like the weird, funky stuff that are truths about the 3D, such as fear, such as pain, such as bullying, such as being a victim, such as just energy manipulation, all that stuff that doesn't happen in the 4D. I'm telling you, it doesn't happen in the 4D consciousness. It's almost like you see that stuff. You might get bumped by it or tested by some of it as you shift through the dimensions to the true dimension of self. And so that's all it is. But remember, I like to see those things as markers along the way saying, oh yeah, you go girl, you go dude. You're in flight, you are levitating, you are arriving at your true destination. And so these characters or these scenarios, these situations are simply affirming that it is so. So I welcome and offer and invite that medicine for you. Polarity and of keeping, you know, an eye for an eye and revenge or having to get back at someone for something is only going to keep us in the same place. And where we're going is enlightenment, right? And you may be already there. And so there's just little interesting lessons and corners to turn and arcs to ride on, you know, through our passageway. And really it's all about knowing thyself divine. Coming back to that, right? So blessings. This is showing us that we are doing the work. We are listening to our hearts. We are going for it. We are trusting the mystic gift of trust. We are trusting love. We are trusting the truth in our hearts. And all those occurrences that come through people or groups or situations that might be trying to feel like they might be trying to cock block your joy. It's just, they just haven't found their own wiring for joy yet. That's all. Just those tar body aspects. And they're just really calling out for love. So I invite you to just send them love. And then that way, there are no strings on you as well. Energetically, you're not trying to react. You're not trying to respond in any way other than love. And then when the situation is done, they leave, you leave. You don't take any of those hooks with you. You don't take any of those grids with you. You're not emotionally distorted from the situation. You have not exchanged inappropriately. Although I did do the 3 breath, take your power back, which is, I'll put a link up here later, which is on my meditation playlist. It's a 3-minute, real simple meditation, but higher self guided that just to like clean after that situation with that person. And then that's it. That's it. It's done. And then you're free, you're sovereign. Again, there's no strings, no links energetically, no inappropriate links, no attachments that wouldn't be there otherwise. Okay, so we're gonna move on. So this is so exciting because, like I was saying, there's this energy, right? We got out of this Mercury retrograde, and it's like, okay, shouldn't we be going now? Shouldn't we be going now? And I'm not an astrologer, but I know now Saturn went retrograde. There's all these other retrogrades that are happening. And there is this theme of slowing down, of this, we're still, what I'm getting, because we have, what I want to show you is we have the creator, as you saw at the very beginning. And this, I mean, look at the creator and look at the sun. These speak to each other. But what I get about these is that it is this slow cook, right? It is not this like turn the frying pan up to high, put the oil in and get it really like sparkling hot, and then throw the bacon or the tofu bacon in, and then you have like all the smoke, and you have to put the air on, the fan on, and open the window. It's not like that kind of heat or that kind of manifestation, because I feel that we are in manifestation mode. Oh, that's what's going on. Oh, we are manifesting. We are co-creating. Hello. I never even figured that. That just came right now. We are manifesting. We are manifesting. And if the story, of course, the story, right, that 3D story, that of polarity and duality, speaks to that notion that when you really start to manifest from the truth in your heart, again, those forces that are not aligned with heart, that are afraid of heart, afraid of love, because really that's all. When someone goes at you with the bully, with the poking, with the judging, they're just afraid of being loved. That's all it is. So reach out and give them a hug. You know, we're all just learning. We're all just learning wherever we're at. But this creator and co-creator and this energy of the sun has, again, that ability to burn. It can burn a whole village down. Yet that's not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're learning to manifest with source, right? Because we're not creating. Like I say, I'm making a movie right now. It's called Grid Mind Science. I believe I said something at the beginning of this. I believe I did. If not, I'll say it again. I'm making a movie, a metaphysical movie called Grid Mind Science. Yeah, what I also say is like actually God's making the movie. I'm just helping. And that's what I'm getting about this, is that wherever our new creative energy is going, that it has a lot of momentum. It's especially those aspects where we are in alignment with the truth in our heart. It is the truth in our heart is carrying us. And at the same time, though, that truth is blazing a path for us, yet it's also saying, slow down. So, and the slow down, what I've learned, happens when we co-create with spirit, with God, with source, with love, whatever name you give it, with the universe, with the energies. When we co-create and we don't try to do it all ourselves, but we just breathe and relax and let a divine timing happen, show up as we're guided, and let God, spirit, source come in and help add unto us the most high divine circumstances, people, places, synchronicities, situations to help to serve our path of what it is we are manifesting. That's the grace. That's where we don't have to push. That's where we can slow down, and that's where we can have fun, right? Sometimes we just take ourselves so darn serious, and all this 3D world stuff, just so serious. Even your projects, right? Even my project, oh, so serious, so serious. Our yoga practice, so serious. You know, whatever. And I know it's easy to say when you're in good health and, you know, you have a regular job and whatnot. So I get it. I get it, you know, in that 3D sense. Yet outside of the 3D, you know, when we're straddling heaven on earth and we're bridging heaven on earth and learning to be in the world, not of it, and living our truth in our heart, and we've busted out of that, and we're not constantly taken up with the 3D realms, you know, which are very real when they're real. But when we've allowed love come in and help us, when we've asked for help, and then we are actually listening for what the messages are, and then in turn, remember, give and receive, helping ourselves by honoring that which we've asked for. We pray for help, and then God comes in and says, okay, call the so-and-so and email the what. And you're like, I'm not going to call the so-and-so and email the what. And God's all like, well, I'm telling you, that's how you're going to get from A to B in the most high ways. And you're like, well, I don't like that way. And God's like, well, okay. Come again. You know, it's like you do it your way or you do it under grace. I mean, and not that your way can't be filled with grace. In my experience, there's even more grace, though, when we call in love, when we call in God, when we call in, you know, whatever you call it, Buddha, love, the goddess. Because it allows a timing that is outside of the worldly timing. It allows a syncopation and a synchronization of the most high divine forces to attune and align with the force and the truth that you are living from your heart space, and that all be served for the highest good, not just you getting what you think you need in order for you to feel safe and happy for you and only you. It's about the we of us. And when we relax into the we of us versus the I of us, everyone is provided for, including yourself. We can slow down and we can actually have fun and enjoy the process instead of getting burnt out through stress and through worry, through anxiety, through trying to control things, through not having the answers yet. And I got to have the answer. I got to have the answer. Why aren't they? You know, that's 3D, and that's okay. That's okay. Yet if you're getting sick from living in that way, or if it's irritating your stomach on a daily basis, or, you know, you can't seem to do anything without being upset or anxious or stressed out about it, maybe it's time to consider, you know, asking your angels for help, asking God or whatever name. I know some people don't like the God word, but God is just love. Remember, God is just love. God is a verb. It doesn't have to be an old man in a gray beard sitting in a weird rocking chair up in the sky, like looking at you, telling you what you have to do. I mean, it can be whatever you want, but just for the sake of it's grace, it is love and only love. It is love without an opposite. It's the feeling. It is a feeling, the feeling realization of oneness. And we meditate and we meditate and we meditate every single day, sometimes more than one time a day. So we keep that union, we keep that communion, we keep that relationship with God, with source, with love, with light. So that that conversation, if you know, you watch my 4D Trinity, God calls on the God phone every week, so that that conversation is a constant. So that we have that voice for God is constantly with us. Or if you call it the Holy Spirit or your higher self, that communion is constantly there. And we're not just calling on God when we're like, oh, I'm up Schitt's Creek, I really need $500 to chip in to pay my rent or something. But no, you abide in God. You have a regular relationship with that feeling realization of love. And where does it start? Yes, it starts in loving ourselves. And how do we love ourselves? We learn how to relax. Not to get burned out and stressed out and all this stuff, and to like then be judging others and being just a whatever that all thing is. But to like relax into grace. Oh my gosh, your health will improve, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional well-being. And you'll step back and you'll see how the divine grace of the Most High actually does most of the stuff for you. Most of our job is just preparing the vessel and being ready to receive the divine guidance of your higher self, of God, of source, of love, of light. And then so the moves you do make don't have to be exhausting, because you're not expending all this energy and using all your energy in that way to try to do something that you're trying to do it, and it takes like 3.5 days. Meanwhile, if you just relax, work on yourself, meditate, go play in the park, or do take care of other things while that thing is on hold on the back burner and not trying to force it, what you'll realize is that things happen by themselves and under grace. And you'll be like, oh my God, I didn't even do anything. But yes, you have been doing something, because you've been meditating on a daily basis. You've been giving, you know, your dreams or your aspirations to the Most High, or you've been saying like, show me, you know, show me. And I'm listening. I'm not only just asking, but I'm going to listen for your divine messages, source. And I will have the courage to follow them. This is so powerful. So the sun, don't get burned out by the sun, by your own light. Learn how to balance your light. Be mindful of reacting to those forces and those energies that would have you double think yourself. And just because you feel that, just because you perceive that you are being judged, doesn't mean that you are, number one. And also, number two, doesn't mean that you have to judge back at all. And in fact, you're better off just placing love there and not getting even any links activated in any polarities at all. Just keep being you, keep trusting you, keep living your truth, your dream that is authentic and integral to you. And then that way, when you meditate and you do your spiritual practices that keep you in tune with God, with heart, with love, with higher self, you can't go wrong, right? Relax, smile, enjoy, breathe. There is time to smell the roses. There is time to not just drive by the beach, but to pull over, take off your shoes, walk in the sand, and get your feet, maybe your whole body submerged in the water. Life is a beautiful, sensual process if you would have it. And it's all here for us, and you can have it all. So don't let anyone take your joy. Don't give your power away like that. You don't have to let someone who's trying to poke your energy or manipulate your energy or be a vampire or whatever you want to call it. You don't have to let those denser, lower energies capture yours and take your power away and take your joy away. You don't have to do it. Just ticker tape. You have permission not to let that happen. So keep living your dream. Keep meditating and manifesting. You're manifesting. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you know what? Nothing really can stop you. You're in your power. You are in your power, co-creating. Because you're creating from the truth in your heart. And really, as long as you stay in tune with that, nothing can mess with you. You might get pushed off course or feel a little wobbly sometimes or be tested. Yet when you stay true to love, true to the truth in your heart, true as embodying your higher self, that's what will keep you on, strengthen you. And it will be, you will levitate even higher. You will be lifted even higher. And I know it sounds like a cheesy Celine Dion song, yet in my experience, it is true. Maybe you've had an experience like that too. Let me know down in the comments. I'm so grateful. I love you. I bless you. Go to my website, TuesdayMayThomas.com. Link is down below. Sign up for my monthly love letter. All of my books. I have books. Some free you can download. Some you can purchase. You can donate to this channel. All the links are down below. Follow me at Instagram and keep in line, keep in tune for my but I appreciate your support here and at Instagram and everywhere. So thank you, blessings, and namaste for a beautiful May. We'll see you mid-month. Namaste. Namaste, blessings. Oh, and I'll see you this Thursday for 4D Trinity at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This week our show is Language of Light. Okay, bye-bye.